Also, at this point, it's probably not a surprise to most of you, but I keep picking up these lawnmowers in the trash. This one was garbage picked. Picked it up yesterday morning, brought it back here before I went into work, and I had noticed that the blade control cable here is wired up, and that only happens when they end up breaking and people don't really want to spend $10 to buy a new one. I don't know why, but so I suspected that this lawnmower still ran. I just, had an idea that they just decided to get rid of it for whatever reason because, the shape that it's in. It looks like they have the handle all wired up here because I don't know if they lost the hardware or something, but, it's pretty typical. So anyways, I got this thing back here, and I have the spark plug disconnected, but I checked the compression. It's got a lot of compression, and primed it a couple times. It does need a new primer bulb, not a big deal there. Primed it a couple times, the spark plug was connected, and pulled it, and it started on the first pull. So I just, this is going to be a very easy fix. I've got a few blade control cables here that will more than likely fit. At least one of them will. On the lawnmower decks and everything that I junk, when I junk them, I make sure to keep stuff like this. 2 of these are used. One of them is brand new because I had ordered 2 of the same one because I knew I would end up with another mower like this. This whole deck and motor combination, whether it's got the bag on it or not, is very common. So it's, quite a few times I'm replacing these control cables anyways. So let's go ahead and throw a new control cable on. Well, of course, what I'm going to have to do is cut off this old mechanics wire here. This mower is also going to need an oil change done on it, and they did not spare any expense on the wire. See, what I don't understand is why they didn't just follow through with it and just pull the cable off. I mean, it was already broken. Doesn't make any sense to me. And we'll just remove it here from the top. And hopefully I've got the right size cable. I usually try and match these things up as perfectly as possible. And it's going to be kind of difficult, but hopefully what I can do here, pull out the cable here. And that looks really close. So we'll try this one. And so I just had it running. Took it for a quick mow. Doing oil right now, but this blade has definitely seen some better days, boys. I don't know what they did with it, but it's horribly out of balance. The oil is black as can be, and it's just almost done changing out. What I'm going to do off camera is change the oil on it, and then I just took it over here to kind of warm the oil up and did some quick mowing. Ain't perfect, but it gets the job done. I'll say that much. And I think I have another blade for this thing, actually. It's in better condition. Some of you guys might remember this one. Oh yeah, the blade on this one is in much better shape. So we'll bring this one over. It'd be pretty much a direct replacement for it. This one I actually unfortunately had to give up on because I suspect one of the valves came unseated. So unfortunately it's got 0 compression. So I started pulling parts off of it. Oh well. So out with the old, and then with the not so old. I just sharpened it and balanced it. I use the grinding wheel method. I don't even bother spending the time with a file on one of these. More often than not, you can get them really balanced just as long as you know what you're doing. And the grinding wheel is a hell of a lot quicker than doing it the old-fashioned way with a file. Forget that. So anytime I've sharpened a blade, I use a grinding wheel, and it's always worked out great for me. So now time to install this blade, and I already checked it to see if it was balanced, and it indeed is. So now we'll go ahead and install it, flip the mower back over, and put some fresh oil in it. Alright, so, and I do clean all this up when I finish the job. Cleaning up the mower is the last part of the job before I sell it. And I always do make sure to get underneath of the deck really well. So now just to fill it up with some oil, Some of the gas is leaking out of it, but that ain't a big deal. So the particular oil I've been using on lawnmowers and really been liking actually is this Rotella T1 straight grade SAE 30. It's a little overkill for a lawnmower engine, but it definitely exceeds the manufacturer's requirements for lubrication. So some of you might say, well, why do you need to put such a badass oil into a lawnmower engine? That jug is $10 a jug from Walmart. It is cheap. It's a lot cheaper. A quart of standard 30 weight off-brand goes for about $3.50 some odd cents here in California after all the taxes are taken out. So this is a 1 gallon jug, 4 quarts to a gallon. If you're using Briggs & Stratton oil, which is about $6 to $7 a quart, that's when it starts to get expensive. So $7, you're saving a third of the price of using Briggs & Stratton oil by using this Rotella stuff. And this is a much better oil actually than the Briggs & Stratton oil. And so the only thing I have left to do now is swap some hardware over. For whatever reason, they had this mechanics wire wrapped around just about everything. Put that there to the side. And so now it's all serviced up with new oil. I just serviced the air filter. It's got that freshly sharpened, repurposed blade on it. It's got a new used blade control cable. And I also took the primer bulb off of this mower over here. That's why I tend to keep these broken motors around for a good amount of time. I still need to pull that carburetor assembly off of there and with that gas tank too, because it's good, but I don't know how much more I can get off of that motor. But should have a few more parts off of it at the very least. So enough of me babbling. Go ahead and get you guys a start. 3 primes. It's got enough gas in it. So I'm definitely happy with that. Before I give it a full detail, I'm actually going to use it to mow a little bit more of the grass out here. Probably over primed it, that's why it kind of chugged like that. This style of motor typically does that if you over prime them. They're not hard to over prime. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm going to go spend about 20 or 30 minutes just mowing some grass around here and make sure this thing is good before I clean it off and put it up to sell it. So I hope all you guys enjoyed this video. As usual, rate, comment, subscribe. I've got more of these videos coming. You all stay classy.